Hi friends, welcome to Fireside Stories with Mr. Meadows. Today I'm going to read for you The Hobyahs, which is one of my favorite stories to read during spooky season. So this story is, parts of it come from old British folklore tales, so it's a really great book, I know you'll love it. So The Hobyahs. By moonlight and by starlight within the forest deep, the Hobyahs plot their mischief while good folk are asleep. Once upon a time, and twice upon a time, there was a little girl, an orphan, who was raised by an old man and an old woman. They lived together in a tiny house made of hemp stalks. It was guarded by the old man's 5 dogs, named Turpy, Toppy, Tippy, Terry, and Teeny. The house was at the edge of a great forest, and deep in the woods lived the Hobyahs. They had fur and claws and pointed ears and sharp teeth, and tails half again as long as themselves. They slept by day, crept through the woods by night, and plotted against the people in the little hempstock house. One night, silent as the snakes that glide across the forest floor, silent as the will-o'-wisps that haunt the reedy shore, the Hobyahs come. They wanted to tear down the house of hempstalks, eat up the old man and woman, and carry off the little girl. But all the dogs barked, and Turpy barked loudest of all, so the Hobyahs ran off. The old man said, "Turpy barks so that I cannot sleep nor slumber, and if I live till morning I will whip him and chase him away." The little girl begged him, "Please don't hurt dear Turpy." The old man whipped the poor animal and ran him off into the forest. The next night, hushed as autumn raindrops patting fallen leaves, hushed as flutter bat wings underneath the eaves, the Hobyahs came. "Hobyah, Hobyah, Hobyah," they whispered to each other. "Tear down the hempstalks, eat up the old man and woman, and carry off the little girl." But the faithful dog Toppy barked so that the Hobyahs ran off. The old woman complained to her husband, "Toppy barks so that I cannot sleep nor slumber. In the morning you must whip him and chase him away." The next morning, ignoring the little girl's tears, the old man chased the dog into the woods. I love the pictures of this book. The following night, slyly as a weasel spies a nest through narrowed eyes, slyly as a spider sets her snares for careless flies, the Hobyahs watched and waited. "Hobyah, Hobyah, Hobyah," they murmured. "Tear down the hempstalks, eat up the old man and woman, and carry off the little girl." But this time Tippy sounded the alarm, barking and barking until the Hobyahs ran away. "That wretched Tippy barks so that I cannot sleep nor slumber," said the old man, "and if I live till morning I will chase him into the woods." The Hobyahs' eyes in the woods. Sure enough, though the little girl begged him to show mercy, the old man would have none of it. He took his whip and chased the faithful hound away. The next night, greedy as the lean red fox that licks her hungry jaws, greedy as the owl that flexes his impatient claws, the Hobyahs came again. "Hobyah, Hobyah, Hobyah," they said to one another. "Tear down the hempstalks, eat up the old man and woman, and carry off the little girl." But Terry barked so loud that the Hobyahs ran off. Now the old woman grumbled, "Little dog Terry barks so much that I cannot sleep nor slumber. Husband, you must get rid of him just as you got rid of the others." "Please don't hurt dear Terry," the little girl pleaded, but the grown-ups told her to stand aside. They chased the unhappy hound into the woods with the others. So on the following night, deadly as the winter snows for those who lose their way, deadly as the hawk that swoops on unsuspecting prey, the Hobyahs came. "Hobyah, Hobyah, Hobyah," they chatted to one another. "Tear down the hempstalks, eat up the old man and woman, and carry off the little girl." But Teeny barked and barked so that the Hobyahs at last ran off. The old man threw open the shutters and shook his fist at the dog. "You bark so that I cannot sleep nor slumber," he shouted. "If I live till morning, I will drive you off just like the others." Sure enough, The very first thing the next morning, the old man beat the loyal dog and chased him away. Now the old man and the woman and the little girl were all alone in the house at the edge of the woods. The next night, boldly as the bear whose mighty roaring shakes the moon, boldly as the wolves that sense the hunt is ending soon, the Hobyahs came a last time. Hobyah, 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 they cried. Tear down the hemp stalks, eat up the old man and woman, and carry off the little girl. When the Hobyahs found that all 5 dogs, Turpy, Toppy, Tippy, Terry, and Teeny, were gone, they tore down the hemp-stalk walls, ate up the old man and woman, and carried off the little girl in a bag. Now when the Hobyahs came to their home, which was a nasty cave in the heart of the woods, they tossed the bag with the little girl inside it into a corner. Then, because dawn was coming and they slept in the daytime, the Hobyahs all nodded off. The little girl cried a great deal because she could not free herself from the bag. But the faithful dogs that had been chased into the woods heard her crying. They came and chewed a hole in the side of the bag, and the little girl crawled out. Then the 5 dogs hid in the bag while the little girl waited outside the Hobyahs' cave. That night the Hobyahs woke and gathered around the bag. They knocked on the top of it and cried, "Look at me, look at me." But when they opened the bag, Turpy, Toppy, Tippy, Terry, and Teeny jumped out and gobbled them all up, and that was the end of the Hobyahs. Then the little girl and the 5 loyal dogs found their way out of the woods. They built a new house of hemp stalks, and for all of them to share. There they lived contentedly, and if they haven't gone away, they must be living there still. By moonlight and by starlight, from dusk until dawn, good folks are sleeping soundly because all the Hobyahs are gone. Thank you guys for reading that book for me. I hope you have a happy Halloween.